Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, TheRealToniB, Life with Lupus, and on my channel I'm going to be discussing, like it says, my life with lupus, my journey through college, relationships, sports, anything you name, I'm going to be discussing on my YouTube channel, right? So please make sure you like and subscribe below. Okay, so this is my first video and I don't want to go too in depth, I don't want to make it too long, so I'm going to just talk about when I was diagnosed with lupus, right? So it was probably, well, it wasn't probably, it was late August of 2013. Yeah, so a long time ago now. I feel so old. I'm only 21 and I feel old. Ridiculous. But anyways, late August of 2013, I woke up one morning and my eye was swollen, like almost completely shut. Like this eye was completely swollen shut almost. And my dad was like, oh, maybe you got bit by a spider, or maybe you got bit by an insect, or maybe your allergies are just acting up. Don't be too concerned yet. Take some Benadryl. You know, black people think Benadryl fixes everything. Take some Benadryl and you'll be fine. So I took some Benadryl. I wasn't fine. The next morning, like he thought I was, and I repeated that for like a week or so. He was like, oh yeah, if you just take Benadryl, like over time, it'll start working. So I took Benadryl for like a week. My eye wasn't getting any better. That's the only thing that was happening. I didn't have any other symptoms. I felt fine. Just my eye was swollen. So he was like, okay, don't be too concerned. Like maybe it's just your allergies. Like let's go to the doctor. Maybe they can prescribe you some stronger allergy medicine. So I'm like, okay. So I went to the doctors. They told me the same thing. Don't be too concerned. It's probably just your allergies. If your legs become swollen, then you should go to the emergency room because that's a sign of something else going on. But until that happens, don't be too concerned yet, sweetie, okay? I'm like, okay, like I'll be fine. So this was like a week before high school started. So I was trying to make everything better before I started my freshman year. Cause you know, like you're a freshman, you don't wanna look all weird. Everyone's already looking at you cause you're fresh meat. I wanted to be all cute and stuff cause I think I'm cute, so I wanted to be looking good my first couple of days. So a swollen eye wasn't it. I was trying to get rid of that as soon as I could. So that didn't work out. So my eye was swollen for probably like 2 weeks, and then high school started. I was doing fine otherwise, just my eye was swollen, and then all of a sudden I was experiencing shortness of breath. So I was walking up and down the stairs going to class, and I could not breathe. Like I could never catch my breath. So sorry, Dad. So one day it got so bad I literally like ditched the second half of school, and I went home and I was getting ready to take a nap. So I was taking my clothes off, putting pajamas on, and I could barely get my jeans off. My legs were swollen. So I was like, shit. Sorry. I was like, crap. my legs are swollen. Dr. Miller said if that happens, then I should go to the emergency room. So I called my dad. He worked like an hour away at the time. I called him and I was like, Dad, my legs are swollen. Dr. Miller says if that happened, I should go to the emergency room. He was like, yeah. I'm gonna call his then girlfriend at the time to come grab you, and I'm gonna meet you guys at the hospital. I'm like, okay, cool. So she came, we went to the hospital, you know, they checked us in, they gave us a room, and they're like, oh, sweetie, we need a urine sample. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that for you. So at this time, my mom showed up, my sister was there, his girlfriend was there at the time, and then he was there. My dad finally arrived. So I come back from taking my urine sample, I come back in the room with them, and you know, you gotta bring it from the bathroom because the doctor comes and grabs it out of the check room or whatever. And my pee was like a dark brown color, like it looked like tea. And you know, if your pee's supposed to be yellow, or if possible, if you're hydrated, it's supposed to be like clear. So mine was like a dark brown, like kid you not, like it probably was like the color of my hair. So like that wasn't a good sign at all. So they're like, okay, well, we can't do anything now because we have to get your results back, so give us a few days and we're gonna give you a call for if you need to be admitted or if everything's fine. So I'm like, okay. I wasn't too stressed about it. So then I went back home, I went back to school for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden I just started experiencing like really bad stomach cramps, like severe stomach pain. I never felt anything like that before. It wasn't like a menstrual cramp. It was like on a whole nother level. It felt like someone was taking like a knife and like just stabbing me over and over and like just twisting, and just, it was terrible, like unbearable. I was crying, and the only thing that helped me then was like taking hot baths. So I was taking like 2, 3, 4, 5 baths a day because that was the only thing that was helping my stomach feel better. So then finally I get a call from the doctor, and they're like, yeah, sweetie, like your results came back bad, like you're gonna have to be admitted so we can run some more tests so we can figure out what's going on with you. So me being young, I've never sick before really, so I went from being completely healthy to all of a sudden my eye was swollen, and now the doctor's telling me I have to be admitted to the hospital for a couple days. It was like just a shock to me, and I was like, it was uncontrollable. Like I just freaked out. I was crying. My dad was trying to like console me, but like I was just like, oh my god, what's going on? So we went to the hospital. They gave us a room or whatever, and they were asking me questions like, oh, do you have any other symptoms? Like, what else is going on? Like, do you feel pain anywhere else? Like, are you nauseous? Are you sleepy? Are you this? Are you that? And I'm like, no, no, no. Like, it's literally just my eye was swollen, my legs became swollen, and now my stomach hurts really, really bad. Like, that's all that's been happening. And they're like, okay, well, your urine is showing us that your kidneys are not functioning at the levels that they're supposed to, so we're gonna have to get a biopsy. And I'm like, what is a biopsy? So for those that don't know, a biopsy is like a mini surgery. So they don't make a big scar, but they like make like a tiny, tiny, tiny hole, like this tiny. And they did it on my back right here, boop. And they take a piece of my kidney, and they run tests on it, and they can see like what was going on, and like check for like scarring, which is like the inflammation of my kidneys. So, like they're looking for like how scarred my kidneys were. So that takes like a week to get results back too. So I was in hospital for 2 weeks total, I think. Yeah, I was in the hospital for like 2 weeks. The first week was just like them trying to figure out what was going on with me, and the second week was them giving medications to cure whatever they found out what was happening. So I got my results back, and they told me I had chronic kidney disease and lupus nephritis. Okay, so hold on one second, I'm checking my notes. But lupus nephritis is an inflammatory disease caused when the immune system attacks its own tissues. So it can attack your brain, lungs, kidneys, muscles, joints. It attacks anything. And in my case specifically, mine really attacks my kidneys. So they're like, yeah, sweetie, like your biopsy shows signs of lupus and the chronic kidney disease. So we're gonna give you all these medications to help the inflammation, which will help you urinate better, and hopefully you'll feel better. So if you know anything about medicine, it makes you feel worse before it makes you feel better. So my pain level before I started the medicine was probably like a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 to 10, probably like a 7. And then when they gave me the medication at first, my body was like trying to get used to it and like adjusting to the new medication, it broke the scale, probably at like a 42. When I tell you my body was rejecting these medications, I was throwing up, I was using the bathroom, I was doing both at the same time. Like I don't ever like it was disgusting. It was disgusting. It was the most terrible experience. I wish that upon no one ever. But it's what I had to do to get better. So after that happened, like I got sick off the medications for like the first like 4 or 5 days, and then once my body started getting used to it, it became easier to like take them, and I wasn't throwing up anymore. So they released me after like 2 complete weeks. And once they released me, they put me on a low sodium diet, right? Because sodium, if you have too much sodium, it makes it hard for your kidneys to filter things out correctly. So like, okay, we're gonna put you on a low sodium diet. I was on the strictest diet possible. So you're gonna be on a low sodium diet. That means you cannot add any salt to anything, and anything that you eat needs to be under like what was it, like 300 milligrams of sodium. 300 milligrams, like that sounds like a lot, 300 milligrams, but that's nothing. Like that's nothing. So my parents were like, yeah. My parents were like, okay, we're gonna follow the doctor's rules to the T because we've never seen you this sick before and we don't want you ever to be this sick again. So I'm gonna tell you this funny story, right? So they let me go home and I got on this low sodium diet. My dad, God bless that man's soul, I'm gonna put a picture of him right there. My dad followed that rule to the T. And if y'all ever been on a low sodium diet, y'all feel me on this. You will appreciate salt so much more after. Chicken without salt? Not it. Not it at all. If you've ever had anything with no salt, it's flavorless. Like, it tastes like you're eating nothing. So every meal felt like I was eating nothing. I was depressed. I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat anything I wanted. And my dad knew my favorite snack was Cheetos. And his girlfriend tried to sneak me like a couple good things here and there because she knew how sad I was and like I was following the rule all the time. She's like, oh, you got like a little cheat snack here and there. So she would let me have Cheetos. My dad found the Cheetos and he gave me the serving size. So the serving size, I've never looked at serving size before ever in my life. So the serving size in a Cheeto bag, a regular Cheeto bag, is like 2 servings is in one bag. Not really. If normal people eat the whole bag when they eat Cheetos. You can't just eat one Cheeto. It's hard. It's very hard. So I could only eat 11 Cheetos a day. 11 Cheetos. So my dad would literally sit there, open the pack of Cheetos, and count out 11. And if I were to try to get a 12th Cheeto, it was a lecture. Oh, you want to be back in the hospital. You don't want to respect the doctor's rules. We ain't gonna do that. And I really love my dad and I appreciate him for following the diet so strictly, but at the moment, I just wanted to eat a bag of Cheetos, right? So, that was the hardest thing for me to adjust to, was eating the Cheetos. Only eating 11 at a time. I could only drink water and lemonade too, and I couldn't add salt to anything. And I was on that diet for probably like, I don't know, probably like 3-4 months after. Yeah, and then after like the 4th month, they let me finally get off the diet. So I had to go to the doctors twice a month. I would see Dr. Raji, who's my renal doctor. God bless that woman's soul. I love her. She keeps it 100 with me all the time. She lets me know what it is and what it ain't from the beginning. She's very open and she just tells you what it is. If you don't do this, this is going to happen. She doesn't sugarcoat anything, and I love her for that. And I had a rheumatology doctor. I switched them like 3 times because they all keep leaving me. They don't love me. But now I have Betsy. I love me some Betsy. She keeps it real with me too, but she's more of like a grandma. I love her. But I would see them twice a month, and then finally Betsy was like, oh, you can get off the diet, like everything's looking better. And I was like, yes, victory is mine, yes. And the first meal I had was lasagna. If you know me, my favorite meal is lasagna. I had lasagna and garlic bread and a salad. I remember my first meal. It was like my first day out. Like I was freshly released from jail. Like shackles off. I could eat. So I had lasagna, and yeah, that was my prize. I don't want this video to be too long, but I'll make another video later about my low sodium diet and about other things that I experienced when I first got diagnosed with lupus, like the adjustments that me and my family had to make, because I don't know who all has experienced having a family illness like this, but it's very, very, very traumatic for any family. It's very traumatic, and I can't advocate enough, or I can't give my family enough praise for the support and love that they gave me through this, because I know it's not easy, because it's not easy for me. So I know for my parents, me being their youngest daughter, that it was very hard on them, and I really love and appreciate everything they did for me throughout my journey and my adjustments. But yeah, this is my first video. Like I said before, make sure you please like and subscribe. If you have any ideas for me for any videos I should make, please feel free to comment below and let me know them. But yeah, this is TheRealToniB, living with lupus.